Hey guys, I'm Caroline LaRocca and I plan events. I have been doing so for the last 2 decades and change, and one of my favorite things in doing an event is selecting the venue. Until you select the venue, there's a lot of things you can't do. You can't do the invitation, of course. You can't do the decor. You don't even really know the style and culture of the event until you have the venue. And if it's a wedding, I don't even recommend getting the dress until you have the venue. So for today's Venue Visionary series, we are at the Omni Homestead. This resort is so special and so beautiful to me. It's a part of Virginia history. I've done so many weddings here and corporate events since I started my career. So let's go, you guys. We are gonna check out the Omni Homestead today. So I know we haven't moved very much, we haven't gone very far, and there are a lot of places to do ceremonies at the homestead, but I am standing in one that is very close to my heart. It's kind of a well-kept secret. We are actually on a driving range with the homestead behind us. What a gorgeous backdrop. This is a nice flat space where you could probably fit, up to 300 people seated here. And just having the homestead as your backdrop, you don't need much else for your decor. I definitely wouldn't do anything high like arbors or anything here. As you'll see in the picture, we did low and lush arrangements that we were able to repurpose and use later at the reception. This is on the greens with the homestead as a backdrop, one of my favorite ceremony spots here. When you pull up to this amazing building, designed originally by Thomas Jefferson way back, candy for the eyes is what it is. And it just feels special with those amazing southern columns. And of course, all of the cars that are parked out here. Valet always puts the nicest cars up front where you can see them. I don't see mine anywhere. I guess it's not nice enough to be outside of the front of the homestead. The homestead boasts 483 guest rooms. So if you're doing a large corporate event or you're doing a wedding, there's always enough room for all of your guests to do a room block. And if they can't quite afford the homestead, there's a lot of great bed and breakfasts in hot springs, in warm springs, where your guests can stay. Now the homestead, even though it's in the middle of practically nowhere, we are in Hot Springs, Virginia, it's accessible. Just under 4 hours from Washington, D.C., under 2 hours from Roanoke, 5-hour drive from Charlotte. But if you want to fly here, you can fly into Roanoke and be picked up by the Homestead Shuttle. And if you want to bring your private jet, there is a private airport just about a mile away from the property. So let's go inside. This is what you see when you walk into the main entrance of the homestead. This is called the Great Hall, and it's pretty great. I mean, the carpet is absolutely stunning. It's patterned and it's customized. The furniture is just old school, charming Southern decor. You just feel warm and welcome here. And one of the things about the homestead that I love is the staff. Everybody's friendly. From your check-in experience at the front desk to everybody in food and beverage and sales, even in the shops, which I might or might not have been to. The bartenders, the service staff, everybody at the homestead is just super, super nice and welcoming. It is truly Southern charm at its best. So let's go check out some of the event spaces, because that's why we're here. Right now, we are standing in Jefferson Parlor, and this is in true Jeffersonian fashion. This is a round room. Actually, there's Jefferson himself. There are murals all over this space. I love this space for cocktail hours. We are about to see the Crystal Room, which is so charming and the oldest, most beautiful ballroom in the entire homestead. So this is where we do cocktail hours. What's nice about the Jefferson Parlor is that you don't have to bring in any furniture, you don't have to bring in any tables, you don't even need much decor in here. There are beautiful furnishings where your guests can sit if they so choose, but typically this is more of a standing cocktail hour type situation. The homestead usually sets up a bar on that side of the room, and it's a wonderful sort of prelude into the big reveal, which is the Crystal Ballroom, which we're about to see. this is all out old world glamour. I mean, check out these chandeliers. Check out the soft, warm glow in this space. How romantic is this? It's like Beauty and the Beast in here. I love designing events in this room. It's made for weddings. It's got a wood floor, which is perfect for dancing. You can do your entire reception in here. You can do your dinner if you're up to about 100 people. You can seat everyone in here and have your dancing. The room is set up so that the entrance lends itself beautifully to introductions down the main stairwell. And typically what I use this stage for is to stage the sweetheart table or the cake. Now, if there's a band, we do put the band up there, but if it's just a DJ, I usually put the DJ off to the side. And I mean, you've got a stage in the center of the room, why not put something great on it? As far as decor goes in the crystal room, I love designing in here. Here again, it doesn't need a lot because it's so beautiful on its own. But I love to do peaches, I love to do warm tones in here, soft yellows, light blue, sage green, look amazing in the crystal room. Now, if you really want to go all out, these columns are just asking to be wrapped with fresh seasonal garlands. It is absolutely stunning when we do that. And when we add ambient lighting to this room, it just takes it to a whole other level. If your guest count is over 100, and most of the weddings here are sit-down dinners, we have another room that's adjacent to the Crystal Ballroom, and that's the Empire Room. Now, as you can see, it looks like there's a little bit of setup going on for some events that are happening, but this room is adjacent to the Crystal, so a lot of times what guests will do is we'll have our cocktail hour, either in Jefferson Parlor or the Crystal Ballroom. We'll come in here to do our dinner, and then we'll convene back into the Crystal Room for dancing. This room has a gorgeous sort of sagey, soft, ivory, pale yellow, and very soft blue tones to it. It is a dream to design. I absolutely love the Crystal and the Empire rooms. You know, Grand Ballroom Foyer, probably my top pick to do a wedding ceremony. Now, sometimes we'll use it as a rain backup for the pergola, but this is such a gorgeous space because it feels like you're outside even though you're inside. It is all glass. I do my aisle in the middle of the space with my ceremony set in front of those two middle doors. I usually have them open, so it's a nice clean backdrop to the bride and the groom. You can wrap the doorway with garland, with flowers. You can do so much in here, or you can do nothing and it stands on its own. It is a greenhouse. I mean, you can see the two structures of fresh greenery that are inside, which makes it just feel so, you feel like you're outside even though you're inside. The marble floors, the high ceilings, the light fixtures. Now this Grand Ballroom Foyer opens up to something very special. The largest ballroom in the Omni Homestead. You can see they're getting ready for a corporate event tonight. This ballroom, theater style, seats over 1,200 people. But if you're doing a sit-down dinner for a corporate event or a wedding with a whole lot of friends, you can seat up to 800 people in there. Something about the homestead that I absolutely love are all the nooks and crannies. We couldn't even cover all the nooks and crannies in this episode today, so I've chosen one of my favorite. We're standing in the Tower Suite. Now, I mean, I feel like I'm in a living room. This is the beautiful part of the homestead. As large as it is, you feel at home. Now, it's a very popular place to do a destination wedding. Actually, that's what it is. You're doing a destination weekend. So you're creating a space where your guests can gather and have things to do every day during the weekend. There are so many uses for the Tower Suite. This space can be set up so as guests enter, they can be told at the front desk, there are refreshments in the Tower Suite. This can also be a space where you can gather after your rehearsal dinner. So if your rehearsal dinner's off-site, this is somewhere where guests can come and enjoy each other's company. And on the other side of the coin, it can be the rehearsal dinner space. Actually, there is an adjacent dining room in here that can seat, I don't know, I didn't count, but it looks like there's about 30 people around that table. But you can fit probably 50 people in here for a meal event, and even more than that for a standing type cocktail reception. On the day of the wedding, this is a great space for you and your bridesmaids to get ready in. It's got a lot of natural light. You can spread out in here. You can have refreshments brought in. You can have a little bit of champagne while you're getting ready, and it's adjacent to so many of the different ceremony sites. The pièce de résistance of the Tower Suite is this little room that we are going to enter right now. And this is my favorite spot to do bridal portraits, first look portraits, you name it. Let's go check it out. So this little nook is unbelievable. Look at the light in here, you guys. Look at the floor. The contrast of the black and white. This is such a great place. Wait, I'm gonna pose. Hold on. This is such a great place to do a wedding portrait before the wedding with just the bride. It's a great space to do a first look. So that's Tower Suite. Now guys, our next stop is right out this window, the most popular spot to have your ceremony at the Omni Homestead. It is the Pergola on Casino Lawn. We are actually in the center of the resort on Casino Lawn. This is the pergola, which has seen many, 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 many weddings. I mean, it is made for a wedding. Look at this gorgeous portico. There's so many things you can do to decorate this, and we have done it all. We have designed all of these columns with garlands of flowers. We have done sheer draping in the pergola, which gives a nice diffusion from what's going on the other side. We have done urns of flowers in front of the pergola. I have had bridal parties with 4 people, with 2 people, with 10 people on each side. The other nice thing about a pergola wedding here at the homestead is it is made for the perfect entrance. We have the brick aisleway where guests sit on either side in little white garden chairs, and check out that stairwell behind me. I mean, what a way to enter your wedding ceremony. So we typically, what we do is we send the bridesmaids down on alternating sides of the stairwell, and then the bride comes down with her dad. We always send the groomsmen in from that side door over there, so they can kind of just slip in down the side and let the bride have the main entrance. Even if a bride decides to get married in Grand Ballroom Foyer or Tower Suite or Crystal Room or the Greens or any of the other many spots at the homestead, I highly recommend you stand in front of the pergola for some of your photographs. This is a destination weekend, whether it's a corporate event or a wedding, you'll definitely want to utilize the spa. But when it comes to the wedding day itself, one of the things that we plan, if you so choose, is a first look. Now I know that we looked at the Tower Suite, but this is another very popular location for the first look. Why? Because it's got beautiful natural light. It's got nice soft, this color is gorgeous. And it just goes so well with any color, with whatever color your wedding dress may be. And it is just a beautiful, quiet, stunning spot for a first look to take place and for the bride and groom to have their moment together and some photographs done before they walk down the aisle. Jacob, if we keep walking this way, you may lose me to the spa. So, see ya. Now, if you were to pick up the phone and randomly call the homestead, they would answer, "It's a beautiful day at the homestead." And you know what, you guys? It is a beautiful day at the homestead. What a time we had just walking through this property, showing you all of the potential spaces to have an event. Just brought me so much joy. Right here in Jefferson's lounge was the location of my first mint julep, I'd say maybe 5 years ago. So this is maybe my 5th mint julep, and here I am toasting to one of my favorite properties. I hope you enjoyed being with us today, and thanks so much for watching. You guys, please subscribe to Weddings by Cled. It helps me realize my dreams and brings you fresh new content every single week. Thanks for watching Venue Visionary.